What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Show Me Vegas. You know, we've stayed at a lot of hotels in Las Vegas. Almost every single one on the Strip and several more. In fact, by the time I get back from my next trip, I will have stayed at 41 different hotels in Las Vegas. So we know a thing or two about where to stay in Las Vegas and where not to stay. So in this video, I'm going to give you our picks for the best hotels in Las Vegas. Now this is a tall task because obviously not all hotels are created equal. So for these recommendations, we're going to break the hotels down into 4 categories: top, mid, and low tier, and downtown. Breaking Las Vegas hotels into tiers is easy at the extreme upper and lower ends of the spectrum, but kind of muddy in the middle. I mean, we can all agree that the likes of Wynn and Bellagio are luxury hotels, and nobody would disagree that Excalibur and Circus are budget options. The middle tier, however, gets a little bit subjective. The tiers in this video then are broken down here in terms of perceived quality. Subjectively, we've factored in everything from the quality of the hotel rooms to the age, condition, and offerings of the overall property. Keep in mind also that I've only included properties that are considered standalone hotels, meaning they're considered by themselves and their marketing as separate hotels, which is why listed here you'll find the likes of the Aria Sky Suites and Crockford's at Resorts World, but not subsets of larger hotels like the Skylofts at the MGM Grand or the Tower Suites at the Wynn. Also considered here are only resorts that have a casino or are attached to a casino indoors, and only resorts that are in the Strip corridor or the Fremont Street corridor. Also, I did a lot of price research for this video, so bear with me as we go because I'm going to nerd out every now and then. I specifically selected one weeknight and one weekend date in December and did the same thing for February. Since major events like football games or big conventions can drastically affect hotel rates in Las Vegas, I specifically went searching for dates that were not impacted by those major events. Some of the rates I found were surprising to me, and I think they will be to you as well. Got all that? Alright, let's get into the tiers. Our top tier includes 12 different hotels and features the finest accommodations in Las Vegas. The hotels included in our top tier are Wynn and Encore, Venetian and Palazzo, Bellagio, Fontainebleau, Crockford's at Resorts World, the Four Seasons, Nobu Hotel at Caesars Palace, Aria, Cosmopolitan, and Nomad. What better place to start this video than with the cream of the crop, the top 12 luxury hotels in Las Vegas. Out of the 12 top hotels in Las Vegas, we've stayed at 10, and our favorite, without a doubt, is Wynn Las Vegas. Wynn set the standard for luxury in Las Vegas upon its opening in 2005, and it remains, along with its sister property Encore, the standard today. Between the two properties, we've stayed 3 times, and each visit was as close as you can get to hotel perfection. The properties are absolutely stunning, lavish, impeccably maintained, and the service is second to none. Of course, this level of luxury comes at a cost, but in our opinion, it's worth every penny. If you want to check out our stays in more detail, there are 3 videos on this channel about the Wynn and Encore. So, we're all checked in at the Wynn. This is a panoramic king in the resort tower. What do you think?
It's really pretty. I love it.
It is really pretty.
We didn't know if we would, and honestly, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think I came into R&R on the Strip. What better place than a place I think is the best top-to-bottom resort in all of Las Vegas? In this video, I'm going to show you what it's like to stay at Encore Las Vegas in 2023 and why we think that this is the best property in Las Vegas. Let's go. I'll link them in the description box down below. So how much does it cost? Here's a look at the top tier of hotels in Las Vegas and what they cost for selected dates in December 2023 and February 2024. By far the most expensive accommodations on this list are found at the Aria Sky Suites. The 4 nights I reviewed averaged a whopping $914 per night. The cheapest in this category is Nobu at Caesars Palace, which is fair considering it, like many Caesars properties, is overdue for a remodel. Our pick, Wynn and Encore, come in toward the top at just over $400 a night, but the clear most overpriced room in this bunch has to be the Four Seasons, which, don't get me wrong, is nice, but is absolutely not worth more money than the Wynn. Alright, let's talk about the middle ground, the hotels that are pretty nice but not exactly luxury properties. These are what we consider to be mid-tier Vegas hotels. These hotels are generally affordable but far too nice to be considered budget properties. The better of these hotels blur the line between the top of this list and the bottom of the last. These hotels are Hilton and Conrad at Resorts World,
Caesar's Palace, the Cromwell, Paris, Planet Hollywood, Park MGM, New York, New York, MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, Delano, and the Palms.
Now, out of the 12 in this category, we stayed at 11. And our pick out of this dozen is Mandalay Bay.
A lot of people overlook Mandalay Bay because of its location, which, as I mentioned in the last video, I believe is an overrated factor. But whatever the reason, to skip out on Mandalay Bay is to miss one of the best values on the Strip. The standard rooms at Mandalay Bay are quite nice, and the property has as much to offer as perhaps any resort in the entire valley. Our latest video from Mandalay Bay was a solo stay for me, and I was very pleasantly surprised with just how much I enjoyed the experience.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Mandalay Bay was anywhere near the center of the Strip, this would be one of the premier hotels in Las Vegas. I have no doubt about that whatsoever.
As always, I'll leave a link to all of our Mandalay Bay videos down below, but here's a look at the price data for our middle tier. They range from just barely above $100 per night to a little more than $200, and there are some real surprises here. New York, New York is an absolute steal as the cheapest hotel on this list, and if location is not overrated to you, it might be a better option for you than Mandalay Bay. Shockingly, the MGM Grand comes in as a terrible value here at $217. I hope that was just a matter of picking the wrong dates, but if not, I'd say sell on that one.
It's time to talk about budget hotels. Now, it's not easy to visit Las Vegas on a budget in 2024, but the hotel doesn't have to be the reason you break the bank. Here's a look at what we would consider the low-tier hotels on the Las Vegas Strip.
Our low-tier list includes everything else on the Strip corridor not previously mentioned, and these are generally the budget hotels. They include Strat, Sahara, Circus Circus, Treasure Island, Casino Royale, Harrah's, Link, Flamingo, Horseshoe, Excalibur, Luxor, Palace Station, Rio, Ellis Island, Oyo, and Westgate.
Out of the hotels on this list, we've stayed at 9, and while not all have been spectacular, I'm looking at you, Circus Circus, some have been a pleasant surprise. Our favorite in the budget category in Las Vegas is Luxor.
While you can definitely choose wrong on the lower tier, some of them are a pleasant surprise. Luxor is decidedly so given its price point, which ranks right in the middle of the group in terms of price at roughly $20 more per night than the lowest, but it's far higher quality. We have numerous videos about Luxor on this channel, including one that compares and contrasts Luxor with its slightly cheaper neighbor Excalibur. Looking at the average rates in this tier, it's no surprise to see Circus Circus as the cheapest hotel on the Strip. What is surprising is that many of these hotels are actually more expensive on my selected dates than a few of the mid-tier options, which means, in our opinion, pick any one of the mid-tier properties on this list before you even consider the bottom half of this category.
Last but not least, let's talk about downtown hotels. You know which ones these are, so I don't have to list them all. These are the hotels in and around Fremont Street, and this is the place we have the least experience. In fact, to date, we've only stayed at one of these hotels, but next week I'm going to stay at 2 more downtown properties, so be on the lookout for those videos on the channel in the future. But to be fair, we don't really have to stay at them all to know that Circa is the premier property in downtown Las Vegas.
Fremont Street is a land known for, among other things, affordable hotels. Circa is by far the most expensive, but with that price tag comes an outstanding room, great dining, and good service. We stayed at Circa in the summer of 2024 and had a great time, so don't forget to check out that video.
This is Ashton from Show Me Vegas, and we finally did it. We stayed downtown. Welcome to Circa Resort Casino.
On a weeknight, you can expect to find rates around $50 on Fremont Street, and by the weekend, they're usually in the low 100s. At times, like you see here, Circa can spike and be shockingly expensive, but by and large, aside from Circa, the rooms on Fremont Street are very consistently priced.
There you have it, our picks for the top hotels in Las Vegas in 2024, broken down by category. What's your favorite hotel? Let us know in the comments down below. Give us your favorite in each category, or what would you do different with the tier? While you're down there in the comments section, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime we release new content. I will be in Vegas next week checking out 4 more hotels that I've never been to. So there's plenty of new content on tap. Stay tuned, we'll see you in that next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas.